of the original. This is the first movie with Ghidorah in the title. You know, where he's in the movies. They introduced the greatest movie villain to in Godzilla's franchise, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. 92 minutes. Let's get started. This is one of my favorites too. I saw this one a lot as a kid. One of the only downgrades is that Mothra is not a moth in this one. It's a baby moth. But this is the one that Godzilla finally turned into a hero. So we got that. Yeah. Here we go, the opening credits. This one's so iconic. I saw this as a kid when I was like 10. I saw the dub version. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. This is the first one I saw in Japanese, by the way. It's the first one I bought and the first one I ever saw. There's Rodan. All of this is footage from the movie later in the film. Song of Happiness, yeah. Yep, and the effects still by Subaraya. Yep, there it is. The credits are really fast, by the way. Yeah, Emi and Yumi Ito, the Peanuts. Here we go again, man. This is still one of my favorites in the franchise, definitely. For nostalgia bait. The big cast. That's why this one's 92 minutes, because it's one of the longest ones of the franchise until the 90s films. They have a lot. Yep, Eiji Tsuburaya, director of special effects. And Yoshiro Honda came back to direct this one. I think he did the... I think he did versus Mothra as well. This was the first one I ever saw subtitled. I was like, yeah, because I saw it as a kid dubbed over the years, so I wanted to see the original version. And this one is way longer. There's scenes that are cut from the American dub that I saw when I was 10. I saw it on the Disney Channel. They used to give Godzilla movies on the Disney Channel. Now they don't, because it's owned by Toho, and Warner Brothers owns the rights to the new films. These subtitles are white as well. There's the girl that was in the last movie. She's not a photographer. She doesn't take pictures in this one. My brain waves. hmm What month is it? January. It's freezing outside. Japan, it does snow there. Because it's in the, even though it's in the south of Asia, it still snows there. I want to see the Japanese version because I have to acknowledge the original language it was made in. But that's it, though. I'm communicating with the flying saucer. hmm This one's more sci-fi-ish because you have a space monster and aliens and things like that. That would be a huge cliche in the franchise later because every other Godzilla movie they had aliens, controlling the monsters. You had this one, Monster Zero. You had Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla versus Gigan. Yeah, it got kind of old after a while. Once you got to Final Wars and they did it, I'm like, yeah, I think they should have just done something different. hmm Because doing the same formula works with the monsters fighting each other, but having the same aliens are taking on, I'm like, yeah, it's all. I don't need a sermon. I need an antacid. That was not in the English version. This character is barely in it. I don't think he's even in the English version. Yeah, I think it was cut. Yeah, this scene was cut. I could definitely tell because I didn't see the scene. I don't remember this guy in the English version dub. I think he was cut for time probably. I guess because in American audiences they want to sit through exposition about aliens, especially since a lot of sci-fi movies came out between the 50s all the way to 1964. So that's where it starts. Shindo. There's Akihiro Hirata. 10 years after the original Godzilla. This was the 10-year anniversary. That's why they put Ghidorah. Princess Maz Tuli Salno. The princess, she's beautiful. Eh? He has to protect the princess, like Mario does. Eh? Princess Salno. Beautiful actress that was in a James Bond movie in the 60s. She's a beautiful woman. Or was, because I don't think she's still alive. Most of these actors are not. Because this was over 60 years ago, so. Except for maybe the kids that are in this movie, a lot of them are not alive anymore. But these movies are classics, man. That's This has a big cast. This is when Toho hit their peak. Wait, where's the chat? Is it this one? What's this? No. No, I can't show footage. I don't want to get... I don't know who you are, so remove. This is when the aliens corrupt our mind. Stand up, you must stand up. You must leave. What's this? Retouch? No. Highlight settings to your thing. No. Your Highness. Yep, the plane blew up. That's why they wanted to say, oh, here it is. What's it doing down here? Yep. Seven people are watching it. But again, if I don't know you, you're not welcome here. You have to be a subscriber or somebody that's been watching me for a while. The next one I'm doing next week, it will be Monster Zero. Then I'm gonna do Mothra and take a break after that from monster movies and do some other films. It's only fair. Because I'm not doing any of the Gamera movies this month. Because I saw most of them last year. And I did 2 of them this year. I did the original and Guardian of the Universe. Kurobe Damu. I forgot that it was down here because... There's the same actor from Godzilla vs. Mothra. Mirai. They just changed his name a little bit, but it's the same actor. And I think it's the same character. We saw him in 3 movies. Raids Again, Godzilla vs. Mothra, and this one. Kasumizawa. I don't want to show footage because I'm like, then I'll get a copyright infringement. It was just 1 frame. YouTube, do not block me for showing 1 frame. Because it was a mistake. You didn't hear any music or saw any footage because I'm like, I don't want Toho to block me. It was 1 picture. It was like a brief second. They're like, why aren't you seeing the footage? Because I want you guys to see my face. Because I don't want to get copyrighted. I don't. That's the worst thing that can happen with one of my podcasts. It hasn't happened since last year. And I want to keep it that way. I could show the cover of the DVD. That's no problem. Because I own it. I've had this DVD for since 2007. I don't know you. Sorry. Mm-hmm. That compass is showing north. Let's have a cheap one. Hey, strangers don't need to stop spamming you. Yeah, because I don't know them. They're like Russian names or whatever, and I don't know you. I don't know what you look like. They've been spamming my Facebook for months now, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care about your fake boobs and you trying to say message me. No, you have to be real. Sensei, that's Gitra's egg. Because that heterosexual guy, I know you're real because you've been in a lot of my podcasts. And you usually give me a greeting like hello or good morning or good afternoon or something. These people just spam me. That's why I'm going to shut off the chat for some other films that I do. Like Endgame, I don't want to chat on. I want to shut it off completely. And Deadpool and Wolverine, because I don't want any distractions. But I'll do that one in the summer. Because this month is about Asians. And Deadpool and Wolverine barely has any. They're like sidelined. Yukio and Shatterstar, whatever his name is, they're barely in the movie. They're in like 2 scenes. Get some water. Talk really fast. That's what I don't do when I speak English. I don't speak it as fast as I can. Life is not a race, guys. There you are, Josh. Hi, I might shut off the chat for the future live stream. For your first one, you should, Josh, so you don't have to get distracted. I'll leave a comment on the video when it's done. She doesn't need a bodyguard anymore. Yeah, of course not. They think she died. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just got involved in a political conflict. Yeah, this movie does have some politics in it. Naoko, yeah, that's her name. Mystery in the 20s. Uni Park. It's very talky in the beginning, but when the monsters show up, it definitely... Because I'm still concerned about the hateful, toxic comments. I'm not going to be hateful or toxic. You can't say that now. Why don't you take your clothes off again? Yeah. You can't do that in a movie now. Megalomania. I don't know what that is. So even the baseball team is there. She's from up there. She's from the... What, space? But are you Japanese, aren't you? Yeah, she is. I'm from Venus. In the English version, she's from Mars. Venus isn't space. Venus is a planet. Yeah, we did travel to space in 1969. See, this is where you should have this kid. In the Japanese version, you see him a lot sooner. In the Kyushu, this movie also is well shot and it's so iconic. Like when the first monsters to show up, I think it's Mothra. They show briefly, and then they show Rodan. I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because Rodan starts flying, and then Godzilla follows him, and then Ghidorah shows up later in the film. But there's a lot of buildup that works because Ishiro Honda knew how to direct movies. He didn't have to put 2 hours of padding. Venus. So the volcanoes. I wouldn't go anywhere near those things. This scene was also cut. Now I'm saying that because I've seen this movie so many times in dubbed, so when I see scenes like this, and I'm like, oh, they're longer. It's like the Snyder Cut, except not 3 hours long. You don't need 3 hours. Just tell a good story. No matter what language it is or what version it is, just tell a good story that's compelling, that will grab my attention. Because this did, and I was only 10 when I saw it on the Disney Channel. My late aunt used to record movies for me, and I would watch them on the Disney Channel. I saw this and Son of Godzilla. Boyfriend another. Oh, Casa, that's her name. I wish I could do the Monster High movies, but I don't own them yet. Because that has an Asian in it. It has the beautiful Nia Damison. And there's copyrighted music in it. That's why I can't do a podcast. See, they sit down and eat. Where are they now? This movie, yeah, this is where they sure show Mothra. Man, they talk really fast. In the English version, it's what are they doing now? It's where are they are now. Man, they talk so fast. Two adorable boys tonight. Yeah, those kids are probably still alive, but they're old. Mothra. Mothra! Yeah. They're laughing, but Mothra's in this. Yeah, that's the fairies are in this one. They have a different outfit, but it's the same two actresses. And they're still cute as a button. They don't get captured in this one like in Godzilla vs. Mothra. Hello, cuties. May you rest in peace. Mm-hmm. Asian women make me happy, Josh. You know that. Most of them do. Misses. next Godzilla film, the monster versus Godzilla versus Kong Supernova. That might mean a space monster. Hmm. It's a different song this time. These subtitles are not. This song is Malaysian. It's not Japanese. It was done by a Malaysian singer. There's Infant Island. They don't show it much like in the last movie because it's not a plot device in this movie. It's still lovely to listen. There's Mothra, baby Mothra. Unfortunately, we don't get the moth again until like Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. It's still cute though. It's 12 o'clock already. I said they make me happy, Josh. I just like Mothra with the wings because she can fly. Most of the monsters in the Godzilla franchise can fly. Even Godzilla flew in one movie. And Rodan flies, Mothra flies, Batra, Ghidorah, Gigan, they usually fly. Um, we're 22 minutes in and we saw our first monster from an island. There it is. There's Mothra. Baby Mothra. Yeah, but they cut it this time. How old do you think you are? That's a good line. That scene was cut in the English version. This is when he sees the princess. It's like women who claims to be a Venusian. Well, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Yep, a beautiful Asian princess. Again, if I met an Asian girl at Comic Con, I'd treat them like a queen. I would, especially Naya or even Palm Clemente, because look at her. She's not. She will not be the problem with Mission Impossible 8. The problem is the running time, the turkey, and all these Brits that we don't need. Except for Simon Pegg. Why is the princess in Tokyo? Because she can't die in the first 10 minutes. Then what's the plot, you know? This guy's pretty creepy. He has like these big sunglasses. He wears them throughout the entire film. He never takes them off. He's like the Terminator. Trey. If she's a princess killer, yeah, of course. See, that would never do a plot like that. If you fail, you will be killed. Yeah, again. That guy is not screwing around. This scene was also added. There's people smoking, so of course they're going to cut that. These movies are so iconic, man. There's a reason they've made over 30 of them, Josh. Because it's a franchise that's lived on through generations. You have people in Japan that watched these movies in the 50s and 60s, and then American audiences got them in the 60s, 70s, and then in the 80s we got them again later. You know, we got bigger budget ones, and the 90s, and then we got the remake, and then the recent movies have come out. It's a new generation of Gen Z kids watching Godzilla in the theater. It's a dream come true, man. I'm not missing a Godzilla movie. When I see Caitlyn in shorts in that movie, or something, I'm gonna just lose my mind. Sana would never take off her golden bracelet. Well, she sold it. Mm-hmm. Spreading a rumor is not a crime, no, unless you're lying under oath or something. I miss these actors a lot, especially Akihiro Arata. He was one of the first Toho actors to pass away at a young age. Well, he wasn't young, but he wasn't like 90 when he passed away. I love Japan. They have the best technology. They have some of the best films and animes and things like that. Not everything from them is amazing, and their video games. Mwah, I love it. Blue Mountains. Those are not. That's not coffee, though. Why did they say we were gonna have coffee? Yeah, they bow. Some shake hands, but most people in Japan bow. But I get it. Don't embarrass me. Just say you like him. Again, I love Nia Damison, and I've never made that a. The first time I saw her in Monster High in like 2022, I believe. Yeah, I fell in love. What can I say? It's like the new Brenda song. I wonder why they called it a blue mountain. It looks clear. But women are from Venus in a metaphorical sense. It's the closest to it's the second planet closest to the sun, so of course they're warm. Mars is the angry red planet. This is when Rodan shows up, yeah. See, I know every scene in this movie like the back of my hand. All the scenes that weren't altered in the American cut. Mm-hmm. Listen to that crazy lady. My hat. Yeah, I would not go for a hat that fell down a volcano. Hell no. Yeah, in the American version, he says 1,000 yen, not 700 yen. I guess that was a lot back then. Again, he's going down. He's going down a volcano. You think that I would ever do that, or down a mountain? Hell no. I want to live. I don't even go down a hill, much less a mountain. There's Rodan. He's buried under the ground. His introduction was in his own movie, but I don't have that movie, so I'm gonna have to wait to do that one. Maybe if I get a laptop, I can do it there because I could stream it on some place. That guy was also in Godzilla vs. Mothra. He has a weird face. So yeah, there's Mothra. There's Rodan. He has a cute face in this one. Mm-hmm. He's like looking up. See, he roars in this one. But even in the Japanese version, he has Godzilla's roar. It's weird. After he comes out of the ground, it's very strange. Yeah, plus Rodan died in his own movie. Spoiler. Yeah, this is the biggest flub in the movie. He has Godzilla's roar for like a few seconds. Watch. It's hilarious. I heard that. I was like, wait. You stupid ADR. What were you thinking? That's not Godzilla. That's Rodan. Or Radon, as they call him in Japan. They gave him the wrong roar, and they do it again later in the film. Guys, this isn't Godzilla. This is Rodan. Oh my god, that just kills me. Even when I was a kid, I noticed the difference. In the English version, the music is different, but that's still that mistake is still that's hilarious, man. And this wasn't like it was only in the English dub. It was also in the Japanese version. They gave him the wrong roar. They didn't say that in the commentary. Yeah, they gave him the wrong roar. In Godzilla Raids Again, they give him the wrong roar in the English dub for some reason. They give him Angelus's roar. That's hilarious, man. That's the funniest scene in the movie that's not meant to be comedic. Yush. That's hilarious, man. That made me laugh out loud. And also, Japan didn't try to poison us. Just remember that, guys. We had our tensions with them in the 40s, but we've come to their agreement and we get along now. That's why a lot of people go to Japan over China. Because they're mostly gentle people. Mostly. They said the friendliest Asians are usually like Filipino. That's why I think Naya is like probably so cute. There is no magnetism. Mm-hmm. A pickaxe. What are they doing there? I don't know why. An object from space, yeah. Mm. A regular can't blow up like a balloon, yeah. The meteorite doesn't open until later in the film. There's the girls. Of course, Rodan will come back. There's the Japanese flag. It's white with a big red dot. They're so cute, man. Yes, even in another country, I'm like, I love when Asian girls squint. That will always get me. Oh yeah, the captain. He was Kumayama in the last movie. See, they get the same actors. Oh man, these people, man, were a big part of my childhood. Just like Power Rangers, I saw that first, of course, before some of these movies, and in '93, I didn't know it was Japanese until I saw it years later. I've been watching the Japanese version on 2B, Super Sentai Ranger. It's a lot different. It's very different than the American version. It's less comedic and more serious. Like they kidnap children in the Japanese version of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, kids are always in peril in a lot of episodes. See, because in Japan they weren't afraid to show that kids could get in peril too. Besides, in the U.S. it's mostly Stranger Things, so we get where kids are in peril, or like a Disney movie or something. But it's usually watered down a lot. They never get kidnapped or anything like they did back in the day. Where do you get it? That looks really expensive. Let's see. "35 minutes in, and yeah, the monsters haven't fought yet. But there's a lot of build. The first half hour is build up, but once we get to Godzilla in the water, yeah, the movie picks up a lot, and rightfully so. Mm-hmm. That's all right. They want your statement, yeah. Now people could do a statement online. This is a lot faster. Again, where do you think the internet came from? Who's not here? Akihiro Hirata. I mean, no, Akira Takarada's not in this movie. He wouldn't be in a Godzilla movie until the next one, Monster Zero. But that had a tragic death in it, unfortunately, because Nick Adams passed away before the movie was released. So we didn't get into the U.S. until 1970. Falling into a gap between two dimensions. Wink, wink, Josh. Multiverse. Mm-hmm. The globe. It's like when I saw that Ultraman panel at Comic Con 2 years ago. I get what was going on because I've seen Ultraman, and it was a cool costume too. That was a delight. That kaiju battle was one of the coolest things I've ever seen at a convention because it wasn't just them talking about Ultraman. They actually showed it. They showed footage of the new show, Blazar, which came out like a few years ago, and they had this epic battle. I wish I could have recorded it from my phone, but I didn't have a phone yet. She's not homeless. She's a princess. She's royalty. It's like Jasmine in Aladdin when she's pretending to be a commoner and she's actually royalty. Yeah, there was music in the English version. Here, there's just dead silence because they want to do visual storytelling more than with music. The music is later in the film. When you have the monsters battling, there's a lot of music in that. Let's just kill me. Since she did not recognize me, she may also be someone else. Mm-hmm. A regular hotel. This is when Godzilla shows up. And even though there's some slow spots here, it's not like the remakes that come out that where we have to wait almost an hour to see Godzilla. I don't want to wait an hour, guys. That's too long. Give us what we paid for. Give us what we want, what we paid for. Mm-hmm. Here he comes. There's the little girls. Should not board that ship, yeah. Because it's going down. Boats, have you seen the original movie? Usually a boat gets destroyed. Mm-hmm. It's too late. We got to get the star of this movie before the main villain. And it was amazing. They did all this in an hour and 32 minutes. Now a movie has to be like almost 2 hours to get to the point. There's his tail. Yes, sir. Here he is. Dun, 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 dun. I do remember the scene. Mm-mm. Yep, he burns the boat. They didn't show anybody on it though. That was his cameo so far. You know, we'll see him later on in the movie. Because if you're gonna build up a monster's appearance, you have to have a better pacing than 2 hours. Because it's like Wakanda Forever. We don't see Black Panther in the movie till 2 hours into the movie. I'm like, that's way too long, guys. You got to have better pacing than that. Hopefully, Ryan Coogler's movie that came out, Sinners, has a much better pacing than that one because that movie was too long. Too long. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Guys, the first Black Panther was like 2 hours and 5 minutes. It didn't need to drag. You know? Give us what we paid for. Don't give us something we didn't ask for. Yeah, this is when Ghidorah finally opens. You know, the egg opens up, the meteorite opens up, and Ghidorah finally shows up. Well, after this next scene. Yeah, she shows them no emotion because again, she's supposed to be an alien. She's possessed by an alien. But it's subtle acting. It's not like, you know, she's not making weird faces. I mean, look at the girl from the boys, Karen Fukuhara. She's gorgeous. It's too bad that they didn't utilize her in Suicide Squad. But again, that was the studio's fault. They thought that she couldn't speak English. I'm like, guys, the boys came out a few years after that. And we know she can speak English. Stop acting like she doesn't. Yeah, they break in the robbers, the killers. And unlike the movie John Woo's The Killer, where it's just way too depressing. If you do see it, I warn you, it's very dark. It's like bleak as a winter night. Mm. You know, if they were smart, they would have just killed her right there. But again, you have to stretch out the plot. Oh, you're from Venus? No. The Princess of Selgina. Exactly. See? He was the smart one. Also, there's a visual mistake here. This is why Mothra is a better movie because it's got less technical issues, except for that what badly edited scene. Look at the fairies on the right and the left. They look bigger than that scene. They're supposed to be small and they look big. That's kind of a visual gag, but I get it. Venusian is the princess. You insist I will call the police. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And see, it's a man protecting a woman, and there's no toxic masculinity here. It's his job. He's supposed to protect people, protect the innocent, uphold the law. That's what cops are supposed to do. So, on this. I have no use. Why do Earth people wake up? Why don't Earth people wake up? They shut the lights off. Smart. Hollywood's excuse for making audiences wait an hour to see that they believe an hour build-up. No, you don't need an hour build-up for anything. Endgame did not. Granted, the battle. The battle is at the end, but the build up for it is massive, and they go back through time and get the stones back. At least it's something happening. With these other movies, they have to do an exposition up the wazoo, man. You don't need exposition to be dumped on you. You know, GMK Godzilla versus Kong didn't have to spend an hour getting to the battle. We got the first fight with them in about 30 to 40 minutes into the movie. Plus, these Toho movies didn't have a lot of filler characters. They didn't do a 2-hour Godzilla movie until the 2000s. Because the 2000s. Can you read a book in the dark? No, I can't. Treatment. Here we go. People running away from fleeing from Godzilla. Yep, here we go. That boat is totaled. These movies are classics for a reason. You didn't have to drag it. Yeah, this is where you first see second time you see Godzilla. Mm-hmm. Then they show him walking on the land. So in the English version, they put the scene in another shot. Yes, sir. It's the same suit, except the eyes are different. The eyes actually move in this one. Mm-hmm. Because the other ones were glassy. Look at a close-up of his face. That's right, run away. I just love this, man. This is a formula that worked for over 70 years, guys. Think about that. Even Star Wars is not 70 yet. This is what he sees Rodan. He sees that flying dinosaur, in a way, or pterosaur, and goes after him. Yeah, no rubber lip this time. His lips don't move like in the last one. See, and they weren't afraid to show the monsters, even at night. They don't have to cover it in snow, rain, or darkness. There's his face. See, the eyes move in this one. And Rodan doesn't say a word. Yep, take that, buildings. Yep, it's Rodan. I do know it's him. But in the movies, they have to always explain who these monsters are. Like in King of the Monsters, I know who they are. I have most of these films on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm a fan, obviously. That's why I'm doing this. Granted, I'm not doing all the films. There's too many. And I've already done the 2014 movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. The other one I haven't because I don't have the digital copy. So I'll have to wait till I can stream it online. And then do it on my phone. Mount Fuji. Mm-hmm. There it is. The music is epic in this movie, too. I love Akira Fukube's scores throughout most of this franchise. Tsukamoto Laboratory. These movies are just iconic. Even the worst ones, like I said, they still have at least one thing in it that works. There's the guy that played Dr. Yamane. This was 10 years later, so he was much older. And he has white hair. He has a cool voice. He had a cool voice. Mm-hmm. She's awake. there's nothing wrong with her. Developed the drug, kind of sleeping pill. Ghidorah. They don't call him King Ghidorah in this one. Just Ghidorah. This is his exposition. Venus was a planet advanced far beyond the Earth. I know, it's near the sun. Made it a dead planet. And Ghidorah's only been a hero in one movie, and that was in GMK. Mainly because he's not the villain in that one. The flying dragon with 3 heads. Look at those eyes, man. Yeah, he's one of the most iconic monsters in the franchise. Here's a news report. Are headed from Hakone to Mount Fuji. Oh yeah, this is the editing, sound mistake. Godzilla roars, and then Rodan has his roar. Watch. I'm sorry, that cracks me up, man. It's the last time that Rodan has that roar, by the way. We don't hear that roar from him again. Don't they know what Rodan sounds like? He doesn't sound like that. He's like that. Godzilla and Rodan is coming, I know. And now Ghidorah, 52 minutes into the movie, finally wakes up. Again, this is his first appearance. In Monster Zero, we see him a lot sooner. But in their first appearance, usually they take a little while. I have patience. It's just when a movie's 2 hours and 49 minutes, I'm like, how much patience can I have? When is Tom Cruise going to jump on something in that movie? An hour and a half? I don't want to wait that long, Hollywood. And your movies are too expensive. You know how much these movies cost? None of them cost more than maybe 10 or 20 million dollars in US currency. In Japan, I don't know how much they cost, but they're still cheaper than anything that comes out today, where everything is over budgeted and long and way too CG heavy. I'm like, yeah, that's the problem with films now. They depend too much on technology and padding. 53 minutes the meteorite opens. In the English dub, it's about 40 minutes. Their tents are totaled. Yeah, they have to get out of that area. And I love how Ghidorah is not controlled by aliens in this one. This is his only appearance, mostly by himself. And it's a he because it's a king. It's a giant fireball in the sky. That's awesome. 54 minutes, we finally get him into the movie. It's the title of the movie. There was build-up for him, though, to see... Again, suck it, Dark Phoenix. This is how you enter a movie. So iconic. One of the greatest kaiju monsters in the history of this franchise. That's why he was in Godzilla King of the Monsters. It was good to see him. I hadn't seen him in years, since Final Wars. Because in this one and Monster Zero, they didn't call him King Ghidorah again until I think it was Destroy All Monsters, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I didn't see that one as a kid. When I was a kid, it was Gigan that they finally called him King Ghidorah. Dun, 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 dun. Mm-hmm. There he goes, flying. Dun, 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 dun. This musical score is so iconic. Yep, goodbye, Pagoda. Plus, Ghidorah is the only one of the only Godzilla monsters that doesn't have arms. He does everything with his wings or his electrical powers. They didn't give him arms for some reason. Usually a dragon has arms. But this is a space dragon. Mm-hmm. 3 monsters. And then you have Mothra. Minister of Defense, yeah. What can they do? International Allied Forces? Yeah, when a monster takes too long to show up, you got that right, Brennan. So you don't need to wait an hour for a monster to show up. Stitch and Lilo and Stitch is not going to show up an hour in because they know kids are going to be watching. He shows up in the first 10 minutes. And he's not even the villain of the movie. Nuclear bombs? No, that's not going to work. Fuji Highland Nature Center. They cleaned my teeth. See? They cleaned it yesterday. Yep. I see the strings, but the strings are not a mistake because they didn't have CGI back then. This is when he grabs Godzilla by the shoulders and drops him. Yeah, the breath is different here. It's not blue. It's like... See, it's not blue. It looks like clear. He pecked him right in the head. So iconic. See, the eyes move in this one. Mm-hmm. They cut the fight, some of the fighting, but again, to give some more, human talking. Because I'm sorry, you can't have a movie have the pacing of Mission Impossible 2, where nothing happens for almost an hour. That's way too long. Way too long. It was like an hour and 7 minutes before there was another action scene. I'm like, Wu was the wrong director for a Mission Impossible. Because it took way too long. And yet his other movies are much shorter. From the 80s and 90s. I guarantee you, Hard Boiled is not 2.5 hours. It's not. It's like an hour and 40-some minutes. Or something like that. It's not 2.5 hours. I checked. Movies are just too long now. Minecraft is only an hour and 41. I was going to see it at home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's at this laboratory. See, you told her. Mothra defeated Godzilla. We know. The babies did. What do you think? They always look at each other. That's... They do come back, but they're replaced in Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. You can't defeat King Ghidorah. No, because Ghidorah's so big. Even in Roberta Mothra 3, Mothra gets an upgrade before she fights King Ghidorah and that. Those effects are way better, but again, they look great because, and you have Ghidorah, which is a darker version of Ghidorah. Mm-hmm. Yep, fight together. Have her talk to them. Yeah, they have a conversation too, even in this version. It will be the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ghidorah is the villain in this movie. Yes, electrocute Japan, Ghidorah. Mm-hmm. All those sets just completely obliterated with the power of lightning. Yep, spread it all over. And he's like, just call Mothra, please. There's no more solutions. Mothra doesn't show up in the next one because they had more actors in it too. Mm-hmm. They have to sing the song, but they do it faster this time. In the English version, they just cut the song and get right to Mothra showing up, swimming to land. Mothra was also in the last Godzilla movie in a cameo because they didn't have time to give her like a 20-minute fight or something. That's the thing. They should treat these monsters like actual characters, not just CGI effects. Their characters are motivations and personalities. Kong could do more with his fist and show more emotion from his face than some of these human actors. Yeah, this is a new scene. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this basically, I can mute this because it's the same. It's the same song that we heard earlier from like about the 30-minute mark. It's the same song in the English version. They cut this out, and I get why. You don't want to hear the same song twice. I get it, guys. Unless it's like a different version of it. Like Let It Go, there's a different version of it at the end of the film in the end credits. But here it's like it's the exact same song. And I'm like, yeah, girls, in the new version, there's a reason that they don't sing the Mothra to bring her back. They don't. I mean, there's little fairies, I think, in Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, but they don't sing the same song twice. You know, singing just past the running time. Here we go. This is where it would cut. There you go. There she goes. Back to Japan. Yeah, there's no more singing in the movie. Not this time. Since Mothra is basically a side character in this story. Hollywood thinks movies have to be long to be epic. No, the Mario movie was an hour and 20 some minutes, guys. That was epic enough. You didn't need 2 hours. It would have just padded out and thrown in subplots with characters that we could save for the sequel. The sequel could be a little longer, but not 2.5 hours. It's a movie for kids. There are no Venusians on Earth. No. When was that? 5,000 years ago. Wow. No, they can't live that long. No. Superior abilities, huh? Assimilated with humans. Again, that's always an explanation in all these movies. Foresee the future. I have that I have that ability. It's called it's a like a sixth sense. I can see things before they happen. Not every event, but I can see things. Like I knew when 2020 happened, I saw that coming, guys. Some people are like, I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I knew it was coming. I said change would come in the 2020s, and it did. Now people are so afraid to use money. Shock treatment, yeah. They do that to people that are usually crazy. Because they'll just crash into the Ochio Bridge. It's been raining all day. Here we go. We're in the third act now because we're 67 minutes in. This epic battle is worth it, though. All this build up, it leads up to this awesome four-way battle with four monsters. Kind of like the last movie, except it was two Mothras against one monster. Now we have a baby Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla to beat him. Just like in Power Rangers, where they get a big Zord to fight a monster or another robot, depending on the circumstances. Yeah, but he puts it all to 3,000 volts. We don't have to get our hands dirty. If Godzilla didn't destroy the tower, the princess would have died of electrocution. Sheesh. Mm-hmm. She will have no chance. Here we go. Yeah, he destroys the tower because Rodan drops him on the tower by his crotch. Ouch. Yep. Mm-hmm. Look, he's flying. That looks great. They would never do this today unless it was CG now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, Rodan and Godzilla saved the princess from dying. Nope, it's on 3,000. It's like, goodbye. Whee! Oh, that looks like it hurt. Yep, and the power goes out. That's what happened to me last Sunday. There a blackout? I'll go check. No, it's not a blackout. It's just that the power. That's right. Take that, criminals. I love how he hits this guy in the head. It's hilarious. There's some unintentional comedy in this movie, and it's mostly taken seriously. Mostly. The thing with the assassination of the princess, the attempt, is not taken as a joke. But watch this scene. This is hilarious. Watch. This is so funny, man. He hits him, plonks him right in the head. I love this. Watch. Right in the head. That's some Three Stooges thing right there. He hit him with a wrench. If this was the raid, that guy would have been bleeding to death. He went, ow! Ow! You're not going to get knocked out. He should have been knocked unconscious. That's hilarious, man. It's funny. It's a visual gag. See, and it's a joke that doesn't go on for 5 minutes. It's just one clunk on the head, and we get it. See, Japan knows about good pacing when it comes to comedic stuff. Stop, halt or I'll shoot. This movie's so epic. I love this movie so much, man. You could tell the look on my face. Maybe it's the nostalgia kicking in, but again, these monster movies were made at a time where they had to use what they had, man. And guys in rubber suits worked. It still works. Oh, this one, he suplexes Rodan. Suplex City, buddy. Look at this. He's Brock Lesnar now. That's hilarious. That was a vertical suplex. It's funny, man. There's some good humor in this movie. And then he bites his tail like Mothra did in the last film. That's great. I love this film so much. Oh yeah? Flame on. See, there's not going to be humor like this in Fantastic Four. I'm sorry. And Howard Nakajima's still doing the suit. Yep, wind. That's Rodan's specialty, though. Wind powers. Flapping his wings. Mm-hmm. And you hear the roars, too, look. Oh, no, wait, there's the roars, they took them out of this version. I like the roars in the dub version, because it's hilarious. Because you want to see that they're fighting. So she's still a Venusian. There's Mothra. Yeah, they're climbing like in the original Godzilla. So iconic, man. These suits still look great, even 60 years later. Last year was the 60th anniversary. This came out the same year as Godzilla versus Mothra, a few months later. Now, you know how we have a Marvel movie every year? Yeah, that's how it was with the Toho movies. There was one movie every year, somewhere. Either with a monster or with robots or something like that, or aliens. They play volleyball with the Rock. It's funny, man. It's great. And then he hits Godzilla right in the head. Boom. Clunk. Yeah, he has to stop him from fighting. Spray. Yep, Spider-Man webbing. We already know Miles is going to be in the MCU. They put in the actress that played the voice of his mother in Spider-Verse. Yeah, that's not a coincidence. We all knew this was coming. Yeah, Rodan, don't chuckle because you get it too. He's like, you need to get yours right in your face. Mm-hmm. And Godzilla laughs at him. That is funny, man. And they show the close-up of Rodan's face. Yep, you're not laughing now. See, Godzilla laughed. They started giving him more human qualities, like laughing and dancing and all that. I get it. But it was the changing times, guys. The dark, serious tone of the original was already gone by this time and wouldn't come back until Godzilla 1985. Here we go, the talking scene. I know, fairies. You don't have to tell me. What is she saying now? I never studied monster language. She's trying to persuade them and they're not listening. Yeah, you know, like people today. They don't care. There's no reason to save humans. See, this scene is part of the plot, but when they did this in Godzilla versus was it Gigan? When the monsters are talking, I'm like, why? It's stupid. It doesn't even add to the plot. It's like they just do it to pad the running time. And this movie is way better because it doesn't have stock footage. They do use the same scene twice for the singing scene, but that's it though. The rest of it is actual footage from the movie. Rock bottom, boys. Rock bottom. See, there's some blood in the movie because this is the 60s. They were showing more blood in films back then. They all died except for the guy with the glasses. He's the one that stays alive. Let's forget the past. Men are not the only stubborn creatures. Yeah, I know. The monsters are too. There's Ghidorah, yeah. There's no subplot here with kids, you know, getting rescued. Mm-hmm. We're 78 minutes in. We're almost done. Just a few more minutes. Here we go. It didn't work. Yeah, Walter could fight the monster by herself. No, she can't because she's a baby. Even with wings, what does a moth have? You know, stand a chance against a giant dragon? Mothra's it has the guts to fight this monster by herself, without the help of another Mothra. Here you go. This doesn't last long because, of course, you know what happens. Ooh. 80 minutes in is when we get the final battle. And there goes Godzilla. Yep. Time to be a hero. His mother's getting hammered. Yes, sir. Run. They used the stock footage again in Godzilla versus Gaia. The princess is gone. Yeah, she disappeared. During the fight, she disappeared. That's right. Yep, there's the fight. So iconic. He tries to hug him. There could be only one king in this franchise. Boom. Goodbye. Goodbye, Bridge. You don't stand a chance. Get up, Godzilla. Get up. A brush fire. Yeah, that happened a lot this year, didn't it? Hold on. Let me give it a second. Yep, take that. He hit Geeta right in the head with his feet. Yep, he takes he lets Mothra grab his tail, but not bite him this time. So iconic, man. All this imagery and that music. Boom. Yep. This is fun. Rewatching these movies again. They're just classics. I'd rather be watching 10 of these than watch Thunderbolts in the theater. Yeah, my streak is over, guys. I will not be watching every Marvel movie in the theater from now on. Why? Because Thunderbolts underperformed. And I don't care about the cast, mostly. Why go to the theater and suffer? I don't want to this year. I suffered enough last Sunday. I'm like, yeah, I got to cut this toxicity out of my system. I'll just wait for Superman. We all know that's going to soar to the heavens. It's not going to have a weak opening. It's going to conquer July. Just like Barbie did a couple years ago and Deadpool and Wolverine. People are tired of the same thing. That's why Thunderbolts didn't make $1 billion. Because it won't. Because we don't care about that team. We care more about these monsters than the Thunderbolts. Take that. Godzilla just throws rocks, yeah? And kicks rocks. Right in Ghidorah's head. She gets shot and it hits her. The bullet doesn't hit her on the head, but it like ricochets off her head. Yep. It hit her hand. And and she falls. Lay down. Nope, wait. Again, if this happened to Princess Peach, she would be dead. Because Princess Peach is not an alien. And a fall like that would have killed her. Or Princess Daisy in the Mario franchise. Because Mario falls and usually dies. So imagine if a princess fell. On her crown, yeah. But since she's an alien, she can handle the fall. Because if that fall, she would not have survived. It's a classic movie, man. I just love this movie so much. There's a reason that a lot of these movies get high ratings on IMDb. Because the first couple of films are good. They're really good. Even Raids Again, which I just think is decent for the time it was made, it was the first sequel in the franchise, so I do acknowledge it. But this one and the original and Mothra and Godzilla vs. Kong or Godzilla GMK, yeah, they get high ratings for a reason. Traitor. I'm a Japanese leader and your bodyguard. This is when he shoots him in the hand. Ooh, man, that looks painful. Yeah, he shoots this man with a sniper rifle. He tried to do what happened to, what almost happened to Trump last year, but this guy, he actually hit something. Yeah, there's a lot of blood in this movie. Even though it's mostly targeted at kids, it's still got some violence in it. Yep. Bye. He died the same way that this guy died in Godzilla vs. Mothra, except a building fell on him. Here he falls off a cliff. He gets rock bottom. Yep, he's dead. It took him 85 minutes to die in the movie, so he lived the longest of all the villains. Human villains, anyway. Because the main villain of this movie is Shindo. Oi! It sounds like a Japanese anime, doesn't it? When they yell in Japanese, it sounds like a Dragon Ball Z episode, or One Piece, or like an episode of My Hero Academia. I want to get into those. It's just there's so many of them to choose from. That's why I did these movies, because they're one and done. They're not, they're a part of a franchise, but they don't have chapters like movies now. There's the strings. I see the strings, but again, the time that this was made, yeah, Mothra grabs one of Ghidorah's tails. He has two tails. Oh, that's so good, man. It's an iconic picture, man. That's right. I see the strings. And Godzilla falls again. He's hitting him with his tail. Whoops! Oh, this is so classic, man. That's why it's called Classic Media that released this. Not Shout Factory or Scream Factory or Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome. No. Classic Media re-released these movies in widescreen, Japanese, and with special features. So iconic. And I love David Callis' commentary on this movie. I'm glad I got this in Best Buy. When Best Buy was good, now they don't have physical media anymore. So screw them. I haven't bought something from Best Buy in years. Target, at least I get some stuff like some snacks or things. Yeah, Martha's flying, crawling on Rodan's wing. That's cool. It's like in Star Wars when Yoda jumps on Chewbacca's arm, on his shoulder. Grab those tails, Godzilla. Get him. Eat webbing, you dragon. This is so good. Godzilla throws him off of the cliff, man. We're 88 minutes in. The battle at the end is definitely worth the watch. Yeah, she's busted open because they shot her. The bullet hit her hand and ricocheted off of her head. And this actress, I give her a lot of credit because she has to do the whole movie without showing much emotion on her face, but she makes it work. Some people say she couldn't act, but this chick was Oscar worthy compared to Gemma Chan. The village is gone. Yep, it got completely totaled. Remember, buildings could be replaced. Your life can't. But then they cheer when, the monsters they get rid of Rodan. I mean, they get rid of Ghidorah. Yep. He's covered. He's like, I surrender. I give up. And he's like, okay, get out of here. He tossed him like a piece of garbage. Look at that. Whee! That's great. Yeah, don't come back until the next movie. In space. More rocks. This is not like when Ghidorah dies in Destroy All Monsters. He dies in that one. Yes. Hell yeah. It took 3 of us to beat 3 heads. Who knew? 3 heads are better than 1. Bye, Ghidorah. See you in the next movie. Yeah, he flies away. And this is the final scene in the movie. It's a lot of fun, man. Just a lot of tender memories in this movie. It's part of my youth. I'll never forget this movie. Absolutely normal, but revealed to us your ability to predict the future. Shock. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because this is something that usually these fake psychics think that they could tell the future. No, they can't. They don't have my power. I don't need a crystal ball to know what's going to happen next year. They say me 3 times. Yeah. Sando, yeah, 3 times. At the hotel, at the lab, and then at the mountain. Mm-hmm. She gets pretty emotional. I like the emotion she shows at the end in her eyes. Yeah, you deserve applause. She had to carry a lot of this movie, you know, when the monsters are not on screen. Happy ending. Definitely, we needed one. The original did not have a happy ending, and Raids Again is kind of bittersweet because Kobayashi still dies. This one, no, it has a happy ending. This and King Kong versus Godzilla. Goodbye, Princess. Sayonara, girls. See you in a couple of films after this. Sayonara. 93 minutes. Yeah. Another classic, man. Another movie that I just love watching every year, every other year or so, and it's a classic movie. 93 minutes long. So, thanks for watching, Heterosexual Guy and Josh and whoever else. Acknowledge me. I will not be doing a podcast tomorrow because I'm gonna have visitors, so I don't want to get distracted. So, my next one will be Sunday. I'll be doing on Mother's Day. I'm doing Star Trek Beyond to end that series for a while. And then Monday, I'll be doing Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. That'll be next. So stay tuned for more videos. See you next time.